Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video episode on the Forgotten Weapons Library. I'm Ian, and today the book we're taking a look at is The Yanks Are Coming, Firepower of the American Doughboy During the First World War. This is written by Tom Laemlein from Armor Plate Press. He has a number of books like this that we'll be taking a look at, and this is the first of them because this is one that struck me as one of the most interesting. Because the U.S. was so ill-prepared for the First World War, U.S. troops in Europe in the last year of the war used actually a huge variety of equipment. British arms, American arms, French arms, a lot of different stuff. And I think that makes it a bit more interesting, the variety. So The Yanks Are Coming is entirely, or almost entirely, a book of photographs from training, from combat, from behind the lines posed pictures, but it does a really cool job of conveying what was going on with the American Expeditionary Force. So let's take a closer look inside, and you can see some of what is in here. Look inside here. This book is divided up by type of weapon. So it starts off with bayonets and knives. Cool picture of some troops demonstrating trench knife use there. Then pistols and revolvers, which is a fairly short section. Then we move into rifles. We've got, just for example, a cool picture here of some soldiers demonstrating the use of rifle grenades. Some of these pictures are obviously staged from training. Some of them are obviously in combat, like this one. And some of these pictures are just really outstanding. There's a bit of a haunting look here. You'll see pictures of both Springfield's and 1917 Enfield rifles in this section, because both were used extensively by American troops. We've got some fairly unique pieces, like this Warner and Swasey optical sight. The author is really passionate about wartime photos and does a really good job of being able to pick out some of the unusual weapons from them. Have a section on automatic rifles here. Of course, the most common one was the Shosho, French light machine gun or automatic rifle used by American troops. He has a very interesting point that it is almost impossible, in fact, it is basically impossible, to find pictures of the BAR actually being used in combat, which is interesting. He's got some explanation why in here. From the automatic rifles, we move on to machine guns, variety of French and American and British machine guns. I think that's a particularly detailed and interesting look at a Hotchkiss 1914. Got some Lewis guns here, among others. I'm kind of a fan of the Benet Merci, it's the Hotchkiss portative in British service, the Benet Merci in American service. Light artillery, like this 1916 37mm cannon. Those are just really cool. I'm only scratching the surface here. You can see I'm flipping through many, many pages in between these. This is a total of 274 pages, if I remember correctly. It goes all the way up to very heavy artillery, so 400mm, 320mm, the really big stuff. French 75s used by American troops. Just some neat stuff like this. There was such a shortage of arms when the U.S. got into the war that training, like this picture on Parris Island, was done with wooden mock-ups of machine guns and of mortars. There's a section towards the end on captured weapons. That's always cool. So I've got some German stuff here. 1918 Tankgewehr. Captured German trench armor. A little bit grisly. There's a very obvious bullet hole right through the center of it. There's a short section on the Signal Corps. Of course, the U.S. used carrier pigeons, or homing pigeons, for sending messages. There's a section on tanks. Some cool stuff there. Just overall, a really rich collection of wartime photographs. As you can see, this isn't really a reference book in the way that a lot of the books that we take a look at here are. This is entirely photographs, and what's cool about it is more the subjective sense that it gives you of the war, rather than any sort of, say, statistical objective look at reality. So I think it's really cool. It's maybe not something for everybody, but I think it definitely will hold its place on the reference bookshelf. It's really nice to have this almost more personal look at what really happened in the war to go along with stats and factual knowledge, knowing what guns were in theory there. So I hope you guys enjoy it. You can pick this up from Armor Plate Press and tune back in to ForgottenWeapons.com for some more book reviews. Thanks for watching.